JJ the CPA here. Good evening and welcome to Thursday evening's edition of The Daily Show. I am here with Amanda.
Hello.
And she's going to be looking up a quick fun fact here while I get us rocking and rolling. I want you to check out Russell McDonald on LinkedIn, and I shared a video of his last night. I'm going to share it again. I saw that he had some additional information on this, and it is the key indicator, in my opinion, to some of the things that I've been talking about already this week as it relates to the market. And one of the big questions is, are we in a recession? And I think Russell McDonald provided in his video under 2 minutes about some key indicators. The one that I took away from that is that in the US as well as over in England, the 2-year bond rates compared to the 10-year bond rates are inverted, in the sense that the rates for a 10-year bond are less than the rates for a 2-year bond. Think of this. Typically, if you're going to tie up your money for 10 years, you'd want a better return versus if you were tying up your money for 2 years in the bonds. And what Russell indicated was that if and when that happens, because we hit a recession maybe every 10 years, when that happens, usually we're in a recession within 2 years. So this does not mean that we're in a recession right now. But what should we be doing when we're heading into a recession? These are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the following weeks. I'll have additional videos. But when you listen to Russell, he also talks about then looking at your mortgage and looking at the rate. You can check him out. He has some nice ways of helping people figure out where they are in their mortgages as it relates to the rates. So that definitely is a commercial for Russell, but the reason for that is that he is really on the forefront of this. And what I want to talk about is where we are with the market. We were down 400, up 400, dropped 800. That's the first time in a decade that we had that drop. And this is what you want to do. What do sheep do? They get slaughtered. What do most sheep do? They don't leave the market because they don't want to admit it. They want to pretend like everything's going to be okay forever. So what you need to start looking at is, are there some stocks? Get with your advisor. Are there some stocks that you should be looking at that they're at the high, or you got in at $50 and it's at 90? How much more does it need to go? Because we are heading into a recession, period. Therefore, can you lock in dollars? Not saying get out of the market, not calling myself a financial advisor. What I am saying is, as my financial tip for the last 10 days, get with your financial advisor, touch base with them. From a tax tip standpoint, one of the things I want you to focus in on is that there is no more 1031 exchanges unless it's related to real estate under the new tax law that came into play at the beginning of 2018. So in the past, you could sell a vehicle or equipment or certain kinds of assets, and you could 1031 it if you were doing the same kind of purchase. Now it's only for real estate. So for clients that have corporate vehicles or airplane or whatnot, you're looking at some serious tax issues when you have a gain. But under the new tax law, we have opportunity zone funds that you can put dollars in. And if you have a gain, even if it's selling stock, this is unprecedented. Whether you're selling real estate, stock, I'm talking separately. You could be selling real estate, you could be selling stock, you could be selling assets. For whatever gain you have, you can put that dollar amount in an opportunity zone fund and, in essence, defer your gain. So we've got another video or two that'll be coming out related to that. As it relates to 1031, if you are in real estate, I was talking with a client earlier today, you can 1031 real estate proceeds from selling like tangible real estate into a REIT, a real estate investment trust. As it relates to the insurance tip for the day, what you want to be taking a look at here is your mortgage insurance. And the reason I say that is that, again, Russell McDonald brought that up, that you should be looking at your statement. If you're paying mortgage insurance, okay, I'm not talking about insurance on your house, okay? So if you're paying mortgage insurance, which was a popular thing, meaning if you were over leveraged buying your house, then you bought this insurance in essence to better protect the bank. But once you get below a threshold, which usually is 80%, meaning once you have your 20% equity, you can get out of that. And so Russell had even said, long story short, if you sent him a copy of your mortgage statement, he'd be able to look at some of that, give you some ideas and suggestions. And so that'd be my insurance tip. Don't spend money on insurance that you don't need. I've got a video coming out tomorrow talking about and making sure you're not over-insured in certain areas. Now, Amanda.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
Well, our featured LinkedIn connection today is the Miss Katie Thomas.
Mrs.
Katie Thomas. And she is going to be part of our accounting and technology symposium that's coming up this Saturday. So you guys stay tuned for that.
Not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Next Saturday,
24th, yeah.
the 24th. She is amazing. She is just a complete rock star. She is totally climbing the strong female accounting world and really
strong accounting in general.
Yeah, but really being a face for the females out there. So you guys need to go check her out if you have not, which would be surprising because I think everybody knows about Miss Katie Thomas. So Mrs. Katie Thomas. So you guys go check her out. As far as our young entrepreneur of the day, we are featuring Robert Ney. He is the founder of Ney Games. So some of you guys may have actually downloaded his game onto your phone and not known that it was created by a child. But Bubble Ball it's kind of like Tetris. You got to line up in the balls with the right colors and shoot them down, and it's coming down with you. But anyways, he was 9 years old, had never developed a game, never written code. He had to write over 4,000 codes in order to make this game. He's all self-taught. He overtook the popular game app Angry Birds as the most downloaded free game in Apple. So he is 14 years old now, and he is obviously running his own company called Ney Games, and they make other games. So
that is awesome.
Very, very awesome.
Yeah, love
14 years old.
Well, you and I are big fans of Shark Tank.
Yep.
And, we have probably seen almost every single episode, and what we love is that when the young entrepreneurs go on there, and it's always surprising when they don't get a deal.
I know.
And
I know.
It to me, now some of them have offered to mentor or have mentored, which is great. So that's kind of where we got the idea, was about kind of highlighting young entrepreneurs. So Sun Tzu, Art of War, every battle is won before it's ever fought. Think about it. What does that mean? It's being prepared. We've talked about Sun Tzu every night. It's about arriving first, being ready for battle, being in the field before the enemy comes. Who's the enemy? Enemy can be basically a competitor. It could be a peer. It could just be somebody that maybe could offer services to your client. So be ready to rock, because if you show up, we talked about this the other day, before the other, then you've already won, in my opinion, because you're already going to be prepared, right? So every battle is won before it's ever fought. Omar Abbott Slater, my grandfather, who is a CPA, was a CPA for over 50 years, wore seersucker suits, and I've got a seersucker jacket on today, so it goes into our blue suede moment. And really what I recommend, and next week we're going to be highlighting some fashion tips led by Amanda for women. But really, if you're wearing a jacket, just get yourself a pocket square. And I will tell you this, I've been in a pinch a few times, literally have grabbed a napkin, folded it up, and put it in there. And, just have a little bit showing. But if you're wearing a jacket like this, go ahead and throw something in there. If it's super cash, then you can do something where what you're putting in is more flat. So when you're looking at, for instance, on this, get my seatbelt off here, you can put in here flat. Okay, so it looks, I don't want to say it looks more casual, but it doesn't look as fancy. So you see how you just show a little bit there. The other thing is, when you're doing a handkerchief, when I first started doing them, I really got myself concerned about how it would look. So really what you do is you just take this thing and you flop it in there like you own the place. You just throw it in there. You probably don't want too much showing. That's a little too much, right? But you just flop that in there. One of the things that's neat that they're doing with handkerchiefs now is, look at this. This is a full handkerchief, but as you can see, it is 4-in-1, right? So what I like about this is that most of the time, you know, you're just showing this much. You're just really showing the corner of it. So now I've got a situation where, you know, that thing costs, I don't know, maybe $20, but I'm quadrupling my money on that. As it relates to Omar Abbott Slater, my CPA, my grandfather who was a CPA, definitely wore seersucker suits during the summer, but that would definitely be something he did not wear, as well as white shoes, after Labor Day. But one of the things that we had talked about is, like my grandfather, if you're in a situation where you can be the best dressed wherever you are, then do it. And this is one way that you can outperform everybody, because guess what? I was on Jaeger CPA Review podcast earlier today. It was a Zoom meeting. I thought they were going to be able to, or I thought they were going to film live in terms of video, but it ended up just being audio. But I got to see Phil. Phil saw me. It was the second time I was on. But anyways, I'm wearing jeans today with some Johnston Murphy leather, like they're dress shoes, but they're now tennis shoes, so to speak. It's a new style. I've got on a, Ralph Lauren polo shirt, but I just threw on this nice jacket. If you can see, pinstripe, right? But seersucker. Grabbed one of these as I was walking out the door, and then I've shot a couple of videos today, and then we went live earlier today. We're live here now, and I threw the jacket on, and you throw this on, and Phil very graciously, Phil Jaeger of Jaeger CPA Review, went on and on about how well dressed I was for the day, and I had told him I was wearing jeans. So basically, when you roll all this together, every battle is won before it's ever fought, even how you are dressing. Let me tell you a quick story. So I've always been the snot-nosed kid on the street as it relates to the CPA industry in Oklahoma City. And what do I mean by that? When I went out on my own with my own CPA firm when I was 25 years old, there was no other CPA firm owners within probably at least 15 years, no joke. In Oklahoma City, there were no CPA firm owners in their 20s, and I don't even know of one in their 30s, because we are a big city, but we're only a million in the metro. You know who all the CPA owners are, period. But with that being said, when I say I was the young snot-nose and still am, is that most of the firms that we're either collaborating with, so to speak, or I don't even really want to say we're competing with, but the other firms of our size, they are still, those owners, about 15 years older than me. There are a few that are the same age. I'm going to digress. So 10 years ago, I'm 37 years old. I'm going up against a guy that's in his mid-50s. He represents a doctor that's selling out. My clients are buying, and it's become very contentious. I've been asked to actually come to a sit-down meeting with bankers on each side, lawyers on each side, and each side had several lawyers, investors on our side of the buyers, and then, of course, his client, and then the CPAs. So he had two CPAs that were involved. One of them came. Anyways, so here comes Joe, the opposing CPA. I'm already there. Why? Because every battle is won before it's ever fought. I was there in the morning to visit with my clients, go through the paperwork, meet with the attorney that was my best friend that was representing our client, the buyer. That meeting was after lunch. So we were there, we were prepared, we had lunch, we were ready to rock, we were loose, we knew the lay of the land, meaning the conference room. I'm sitting there ready to rock, all the paperwork in front of me, at least an hour before the meeting's even going to start. I'm sitting in my seat. I'm wearing a three-piece suit that's blue pinstripe with my shiny shoes. I've got my cufflinks and a pocket square, and I'm wearing my Gordon Gecko shirt, which just means that it was white collar, white cuff, and it's blue. I'm sitting there. He walks in the room. I stand up to shake his hand. Of course, I walk around so that he can see my full outfit, all done on purpose. We sit down, and by the way, he was running a tad late, so he was kind of last to the party. He literally sat down and went, and he looked right at me and he goes, "This is going to hurt, isn't it?" Joe and I have become good friends, and he's referred to that. So it feeds into everything we were talking about tonight. So being best dressed. Now, Justin McAuliffe, this is a different day and age, and Justin McAuliffe is so cool. He doesn't necessarily have to do this. But for those of you that are looking for the advantage, I'm telling you right now, it's the pocket square. Omar Abbott Slater, it's the seersucker jacket. All right, hey, we really appreciate you tuning in. One of the things that we're so appreciative of is LinkedIn Live, the beta program. We're supposed to go live for at least 15 minutes, and we have really enjoyed doing the daily show. We went earlier today. We're probably going to go tomorrow. I don't know Friday night. Tomorrow we will be live at 7 p.m. because it's my son's birthday and I'll be at a dinner. But we are going to go live tomorrow. So we really appreciate you tuning in. We'll be live on Saturday and Sunday. And then next week, you better buckle up, because coming to Oklahoma City is Justin McAuliffe CPA, Juan Garcia, Jose Zavala, Katie Thomas CPA, and myself live Friday night, the 23rd in the evening. We're doing JX4 with an add-on. It's our season finale, and we're going to be doing that poolside. We're going to be doing it at the house. I'm going to be doing 3 podcasts on behalf of, I guess I can't reveal yet who we're doing the podcast for. We've been asked to do the podcast for a national company, which is awesome. And then we're going to be live all day Saturday, August 24th. We're going to be downtown. Every hour is going to be a different segment. We will be all over social media live, not one Zoom meeting with 5 heads on it. We're going to be live together. Jose, ZTX Advisors, is bringing some great technology with them and cameras, so it should be a lot of fun. All right, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Well, we were having dinner, and we appreciate Ben Juan reaching out and saying, "Hey, when is your show?" And we were thinking that, we already went live today. Maybe we stick with that. But then we got inspired. So thank you, Ben. And for everybody, be sure to check out Russell McDonald. He's got some great content talking about what's coming up. All right, hey, y'all have a great night. Really appreciate you all. And then don't you ever forget,
you've never met a CPA
quite like me. All right, hey, we're having fun. Have a great night.